Hey everybody, welcome to the BTSL Group A. For the European groups. We are already in some trouble though, and there's going to be a bit of delay in the cast. I'll explain in a second, but as he's just said hello, welcome Wardy. How are you today, man?
Yo, I am good as I battle through audio stuff and try and figure things out. I'm pretty good though. How you doing?
I could be better. So I'm in a pretty tough spot right now, guys, because with literally less than 5 minutes before the tournament's ready to go, despite reminders and despite messages, sort of has canceled on us. And this is incredibly frustrating because if this was something done last night or the day before, I could maybe find a replacement. But yo, who in the heck? We just got a massive host. We got a big host from somebody, and oh, their name's in like, I don't know if that's Chinese or what, it's Asian lettering, but 2,000 viewers. Oh man, well, whoever that was, gosh, could someone in chat let me know? Oh, it's Bjorn! Bloody Bjorn! What a legend! Well, that helps perk up my day quite a bit right there, guys. It's Bjorn! Bjorn, baby, Bjorn! That helps perk things up quite a little bit. So I'm trying to discuss solutions with some people right now. I was hoping to find Damaga to fill in at the last second, but ask Bjorn to replace him. This is a European tournament, or else I would totally love to ask Bjorn to replace him, right? Unfortunately, that's not quite the case. So we're trying to see if there's anyone we grab last second. Unfortunately, though, a lot of the players who would play already qualified in, and some of the folks who are available are not people who are going to be able to play today. So it's a little bit awkward in that regard. Also, I don't want to like totally swindle everybody. These guys got their groups, they did the group picks, and then all of a sudden we inject like Cyril or something, right? So we may just end up having a really short cast today. This might be okay though, because we do have the amateur tournament going on in the background of this, so we might just have to do a 3-man group with a walkover. It's disappointing, but I don't know what else we can really do about it.
Yeah, it's a little bit annoying, man. It's a little bit of frustration. Can you still hear yourself? This is the last time I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, speaking kind of loudly-ish. Yes, unfortunately I can. Yeah. We're having a weird, just in case there's any audio engineers out in the mic audience today, we're having this weird thing with Wardy where for whatever reason, if he's not muting his microphone while I'm speaking, we can hear him, or we can hear me reverb back through his headset. And this is just such an oddity of an issue. I've never really experienced it, so I don't know what to do about it. It's also really hard to talk hearing yourself buzz. Wardy, if you could mute your microphone when you're not speaking, please.
My microphone was muted though.
Oh, well, I'm hearing buzzes of some kind. Like right now. I can hear my words.
Well, my mic's muted, so now it's not my mic.
Well, no. So I think the second you muted it, it went from distinguishable words to a buzz. So I don't know, man. Something's going on with your computer settings where I'm wondering, like, are somehow your microphone playing some of the audio? Or not like your microphone, rather, but your like computer sound card picking this up and crossing wires or something?
I don't know. I don't think so, because I'm just USB in.
Harstem's had a really interesting suggestion, by the way, where Rifkin, we aren't hearing anything. Okay, so somehow it's just me. Well, okay, we'll look into this later, guys. It doesn't matter. We've found some solutions before, but
reverbing into your head.
Well, no, because then the audience would hear that. But hang on. So this is an interesting suggestion, and I'm curious on your thoughts on it, Wardy. The players are saying, why don't we just do like a round robin instead? So instead of New Hampshire getting the free win to the winners bracket, they do like a round robin group style of 3. I don't even know how that would really work out, but we'd still end up having like the same amount of matches anyways, I guess.
Yeah, it's the same amount of matches, really. And then you could have tiebreakers.
Here's my problem. This is where I'm going to ask your expertise on this, because this is really like a last second thing. I am awful at understanding how round robin setups work. Are you good at it? Because if you are, we could roll with it. I can't track this on my end.
I know how they work. I can figure it out. I'm just not sure if it really saves us. It doesn't really give us anything extra. That's all.
I think
guess
for
just
them, it's they don't want to give Nameshare that free win, is what it is, and I understand that too,
Yeah.
right?
No, that's true. Yeah, we could just do the round robin.
Are all 3 players cool with round robin? Sorry, this is so awkward for us guys because it happened like literally as we went live. So I feel a little bit bad because all BN's viewers come by and they're like, all right, I just finished watching some top tier Korean Terran memes. Let's watch some more StarCraft. And normally BaseTradeTV, oh boy, we got you back. We're ready to go. But unfortunately, as said, one of our players had ditched out at the very last second. I mean, granted, I'll give sort of credit where it's due. I apologize, but I don't... This is one of those things where I don't want this stuff affecting tournaments in the future. And while I'm not immediately looking to ban sort of, these are the types of actions that lead to us keeping people from playing our events. But we'll figure out. It's probably just a warning for sort of for now. It's been a long time since he's done anything, but he does sadly have a history of kind of screwing things up for us. So we'll sort that later. I'm not too worried about punishment. I want to just get the show going for the time being. And we're just waiting on Nameshar to chime in whether he's cool with round robin or not. We'd probably stick with best 3.
Cool. Well, I'm trying to figure something out here, guys, as we get set for the day. The first actual group stage of the BTSL, which is kind of nice, at least for the European one, because the Korean one started the other day. But it's pretty cool because obviously we have 16 players right now, and over the next few weeks we go down to 8 players. Then we have another group stage. Then we go down to 4 players. Then we have playoffs. Then 2 players get to go to Canada, which is super exciting. It's not every day you can play travel to Canada.
Well, and on top of this, the venue's been set. We've got the deposit down. In fact, I've got another meeting with them tonight just to finalize the details. But if you guys are unaware, May 18th and May 19th, Richmond, British Columbia, Canada is the date for and the location for the BTSL offline finals. And the reason we're playing all these groups online is there's a little bit of prize money, of course, and more as these players advance through each rounds. But there's also up to $1,000 in flight costs that we'll be covering to fly 2 Europeans and 2 Koreans over to Canada for that finals. And I think that should be awesome. The finals itself is going to have an open bracket and all these other good things. But speaking of open brackets, quick call out. If anybody in the chat has never been Grandmaster, and unfortunately Twitch chat is mostly Grandmaster, so I don't know if there's anyone out there, but if you are Masters or below, about an hour from now, the Masters and Below, the first ever Masters and Below tournament we're hosting, will go live. And the way this will work out is we'll go from casting whatever groups, whatever matches we have here. We're still talking with the players, trying to find something that's fair. We'll cast this out, and when it's done, we'll spend the rest of the time covering the Masters and Below tournament, whether that's just the finals or the semifinals or so forth. But yeah, it's again really just unfortunate to have a player to have sort of cancel on us like this 4 minutes beforehand. So it's been a little hectic trying to figure out what we're doing in the replacement, guys. And I'm really sorry for this downtime. I know it's no fun for anybody.
Yeah, but it happens. It's okay. I think we'll get through it. I believe. I think I'm sure that makes a good point in the chat, honestly. Like, not liking low player round robin, because it just, like... It just allows a tie so much.
Yeah, let's just go. Scrub it, boys. We'll just go with as originally planned with a walkover. So Harstem versus Bly. Nameshar walkover. Losers match. Oh no, there's no losers match. I guess winners match. Finals. So we got 3 best of 3s into the Masters and Below tournament. Is how this will play out. Did you guys figure out maps already? But yeah, welcome to us doing it on the fly.
On the plus side, at least we have the Masters and Below tournament going on.
That is true. If we didn't have that in the background, this would be a very short stream. This would be like an hour-long stream today.
Yeah, it's a good thing to get out of the way. Or not get out of the way, but fill in to have afterwards once our main casts are wrapped up. So yeah, exciting times. Go on.
I would have loved to have found a replacement. I mean, I messaged Demaga and a couple others, but nobody's replying. So unfortunately, I don't think we'll find. I mean, to be honest, like, don't get me wrong, I love Namshar, so don't take this phrase the wrong way. But unfortunately, we have to give Namshar the walkover. I would have loved to have just found a player to replace, sort of, but the folks we messaged are just not available, which kind of sucks. So, deep breaths. Wardy, do you mind hosting the maps, by the way?
Already on it. Already on top of it.
Okay. And we'll get this party going, guys. Again, Harstem versus Bly will proceed as usual, and then because we have no replacements and no assortive, we'll be doing a walkover, so there will be no Namshar versus anybody series. That'll go directly to the winners match. Now this is okay. This is a good and a bad thing though, right? Blessings in disguise for the players. You suddenly now have a 2 out of 3 chance of getting out of the group instead of 2 out of 4. It all really depends on how they'll play against each other, obviously, but it's not bad having one less player for the player's sake to advance to the next round. Also, that's a bit loud. Let me go fix that. And cool, none of our moderators are here. What's up, guy? Let's go ahead and get you the fuck out of chat. See ya. Welcome to Base Trade, guys. Where this guy has been at it for almost 2 years at this point. I'd celebrate it if he wasn't such a huge loser. Let's move that there. Move OBS up. I know we had a couple subs, guys. We'll get you all caught up in a second. Sorry, it's been just a real hot mess getting things ready. But I think we're in the lobby. I think we're about good to go. So whenever Harstem says ready, we'll get this party underway.
There you go.
Deep breaths.
Ready?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Backwater has no intro because I'm still a piece of human garbage who hasn't done it. So enjoy the default load screen.
I like the default load screen. There's a Zealot, there's a Hydralisk, there's a picture of the map. It's different.
All right, well, sure, if you say so, Wardy. Finding the beauty in all things. But this is the wrong... Oh, one sec, guys. Out of game. No, we want in-game, not out of game. Woo!
Woo!
Okay, there we go. It's map number 1 in a best of 3 for the BTSL Group A of the European bracket. To the bottom right side to kick things off today, we've got Asterian's Red Protoss, Harstem.
And his opponent in the upper left-hand side, this is Bly. From Team Expert, of course.
I don't know. I've never fiddled with Stream Deck Live, guys. If this changes the scene here real quick, I do apologize, but I think... Yeah, that should be fixed now. Cool. All right, Bly is a guy raring and ready to go. I gotta give this kid credit. There's nobody more ready to play StarCraft than him, I feel, at times, and I really appreciate whenever he competes and stuff we're doing. Harstem, though, has been very active lately. He went from a guy that we could barely get to show up for tournaments, not because he didn't want to, but he was just quite busy, to nowadays we're seeing him playing a lot of things, and I love that, because he's also gotten to the streaming life pretty big, too. Harstem was, I don't know if it's as consistent now, but he was streaming almost like every day, it felt like.
He streams pretty often. He's got a pretty dedicated little group of viewers as well. He streams kind of like, I guess he streams at a pretty bad time for America a lot of the time because he streams like morning into
starts at like 4 a.m. and stuff like that.
Yeah, not great for if you're an American viewer trying to be a Harstem fan, but you know, some guys wake up early.
It's just enough time for me to catch him, throw him at a 0-7 on my way to bed.
I've actually had a good sleeping pattern for the last week, right? So I've actually been waking up for like the first time in years regularly at 8, 9 a.m. and stuff, and like even 7 a.m. and it's like so weird to me that before I cast at like midday, I've got like 4 hours to do whatever I want. And it's so weird. Just the concept of mornings, I haven't had them for a while, you know?
I guess I just view morning as more of a whenever I wake up. Like, it might be 7 p.m. in the evening, but for me, morning is when I wake up, right? So...
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know, it's just I feel like in the mornings, I feel like I should be productive all of a sudden, whereas at night, I'm just like, yeah, let's just play games. I don't know.
It's the mindset, I suppose.
Yeah, it's weird though. That's all I'm trying to say. It's a bit weird, it's a bit strange. And as we do see Bly, is he gonna just let a few lings over? He's got 8 on the way. I guess it's not too many. Still quite a few though, right? I mean, 8 lings already, and he already has 4. Oh no, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking wrong. Sorry.
Well, he's not committing any of these adepts. I like this so far. There's this combination from the Stargate opener that's so sick right now. You get the Phoenix out, you clear up some Overlords, but you also pair it up with the Oracle. You do the pickup on one side, adepts on the other. If Harstem sends these in now, I like this back. Like, he pre-transfers out of here, so this wasn't going to be dedicated, but he's going to take a lot of damage and even lose one of the adepts. This takes away a lot of power to that potential follow-up. However, he's not pushing at an Oracle. It's just the Phoenix.
Yeah, sometimes we see the Phoenix first nowadays and then into the Oracle. Sometimes we just see it as a way to open, get rid of the Overlords, and then kind of change things up. Already going Twilight Council may just be a way for him to kind of catch Bly a bit off guard. Resonating Glaives comes through, and of course, is Bly really expecting a Resonating Glaives this quickly? Well, no, because he hasn't seen it at all, because the Phoenix denied that Overlord so fast.
By the way, guys, we're going to be working with Blizzard to help promote the BTSL Amateur Tournament. Try and get more eyes on it, get more Gold League players playing, that sort of thing, right? They decided to touch up the logo we made for it. I'm like ashamed. This looks so good. This looks better than the BTSL logo, like on its own, to be honest. I'll show this off after we're out of this game, but it looks super good.
Yeah, I see it. It looks beautiful.
All right, as far as this goes, I do find this Stargate opener is actually something we've seen some Koreans do. You're literally just getting the Phoenix out. I'm not a big fan of it personally, and I think with less threats, like this used to be a really big deal. Overlord drops on hatchery tech, you needed some anti-air, but nowadays you can kind of get away with more robos, and in fact, we were watching some of this Koreans from the group stage and double robos all the way.
Yeah, he's gonna have a lot of adepts though, right? To get something done. Nice warping of the sentry is able to block those Zerglings. He loses the sentry, he has to force field. Even that is kind of oh, there's one thing on the other side, so the sentry still goes down.
Yeah, I didn't even see that get in there, and I guess neither did Harstem.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. He's chrono boosting an immortal behind this. I wonder if he wants to get very aggressive as a follow-up, or whether he's just preparing for maybe the kind of massive roaches to counterattack as the adepts. They see how many units they're on. I think they're just like, yeah, we're gonna get out of here. This is not worth fighting at all. Kind of threatens to shade back just to pull the units away from counterattacking for a while.
So Bly has played this pretty nicely in terms of setting up for this, right? Like his drone count's low, his army count's high. You want to brute force with Zerg, this is how you do it. But Bly is like Mr. Nidus Worm or Mr. Catch You Off Guard Spire, right? This is normal for any other Zerg player, but this feels really abnormal for Bly.
Yeah, I mean, it's Bly, right? We used to see him with like a ton of units and like no drones. So as he comes across, I mean, the thing about Backwater is if this was any other map, I'm pretty sure Bly would be across here with roaches and roaches and lings right now, trying to cancel a third base, take a fight. But the reality is he just has to back away because 3 bases here are so easily held because of the single wall off at the front. But Harstem, only 46 probes, extra gates coming through, his warp prism's now in play. I think Harstem's gearing up for a bit of attack here, Rifkin.
Well, mortals are mighty powerful, whether it's 2 or 4 or 10, but this is just the warp prism for the time being, and it's going to be chased off by these 3 queens.
Oh no. That was a little bit scary. He flew that forwards for a little while. Too long. As he is going to start moving out. I know what you mean. Like, for now it was just the warp prism, and now he moves out. It feels as though he's like sort of in a mixed mind as to what to do, because he started a probe production again since he just moved out now. It's kind of weird. Like, he's adding on like a couple probes, and he's like, I'm going to warp in like 8 adepts, and let's see what he can get done, because he is coming across, and he's got a couple of mortals, a lot of adepts, and a lot of force fields. This
is how you know Protoss means business. No observer. He's not even trying to clean up the creep. It's straight for the throat. Big force fields come down to catch a lot of the roaches on the top side, but he's still got a lot more he's got to chew through. Harstem's Immortals are going to be so good in this fight. It's very important he doesn't lose them. But at the same time, he's got a lot of squishy sentries on that front line. He doesn't have the craziest buffer, but that army supply is not holding strong for Bly, and he's got 13 more roaches on the way. He needs them out already.
The extra adepts coming forwards here just going to be able to just push on through, and well, this is really, really nice here for Harstem. Just adepts continuing to tank. The Immortals still alive, of course, and they've been absolutely key during this fight. 10 kills on one, 6 on the other. The Warp Prism stayed so safe, which is essential in this sort of attack. Make sure it doesn't get corrosive fired down, etc.
This one Immortal's got 8 kills, the other's got 13. These boys are not going down anytime soon. Both supplies are getting kind of low, but Bly already losing 16 workers combined with this. I don't think, like, he's got a Hydra den. We're not seeing any Hydras come out at this rate.
I mean, even if you make Hydras, they're just going to evaporate because those depths on the Glaives are going to kill Hydras so quickly unless they're in insane numbers. And this is not a scenario where you get crazy number of Hydras.
I also totally glanced past this, but orange balls means resonating Glaives. We don't see that too often for a lot of guys. There's always charge lots nowadays.
Yeah, it's something obviously Harstem never made use of earlier in the game because Bly kind of overmade units. This is why I was a bit confused, right? GG's full Harstem takes game 1. This is why I was just a bit confused because like Harstem made Glaives and Bly made like a ton of units. Enough units where I was like, okay, well, surely he counterattacks, but you can't really counterattack on backwater. And then I think from there, Bly just didn't really have the economy to go into like enough units to then deal with the follow-up. So even though we didn't really see the Glaives become useful initially, it kind of did slow down Bly a lot indirectly. As I'm hosting the game.
Yeah, while you get this up, I had linked in the chat. I'm going to link it again, guys. StarCraft, like Big Papa StarCraft tweeting about BTSL Europe today, but also promoting the amateur tournament. So first off, look at that logo they made. Well, okay, so basically it's the one I made, but like they made it look way better, like a gajillion times better. But take a look at it, guys. It looks fantastic. As we hop in this next game, I'm just going to take this time to shout out. Like, yes, we have an unfortunately lopsided, awkward group today due to sort of, I guess, I'm not sure if you would classify as a no-show or a forfeiture, but the point is he's not here, so we're missing a player from the group. However, as stated many times now, in about 40 minutes, half an hour-ish from when I'm saying this live on stream, the Masters in Below tournament will commence. Now, if you want to see the full details of this, or you want to sign up, you're like, hey, wait a minute, I'm a Masters player. I'm not doing anything in half an hour. Exclamation mark noob in chat, N-O-O-B. We'll link you to the Team Liquid thread. It has everything you need. We have a Discord channel dedicated to the Amateur Tournament Series. We have an admin, Dares, dedicated to walking you through it. If you had any questions or concerns, you've never played in a tournament before and it's your first time, but you're like a little bit tentative because you're nervous, you don't know how things work, Dares is there. We're literally paying Dares specifically to help you, guy. So be sure to check all that out. But we're gonna hop into Neon Violet Square. We'll see you soon. And of course, things got underway a little bit quicker than expected, but just to tap off that quick shout out to the Amateur League, the default server is NA. I want to make this clear, this is our second month running it. We're ideally going to be doing this every single week for the rest of 2018. So we're still experimenting. The tournament's still growing. We want to find that perfect sweet spot. So last month was all Europe default server. This month has been all NA default server, and we've been taking feedback. Like when you guys play and you lose and you get salty, that's a form of feedback. When you guys win and you give us comments and criticisms and critiques on like how this could have been run differently, that's feedback. And we take all this to try and make it the best tournament we can. With stuff like this, we know how to do it, right? Group stages are so self-explanatory. We could run these with our eyes shut. But for the Amateur League, we're still adjusting. So feedback always super appreciated. But folks, just to answer that question one last time, it's on the NA server. It's for anyone that's Masters League or below, and it starts about half an hour from now. So you still got time to sign up and play if you want. That being said, let's segue into the game. Bottom right, we've got the blue Protoss up 1-0 Harstem.
And his opponent in the upper left-hand side, the red Zerg, is Bly.
All right, now let's talk about the group before things fell apart for it, right? This was a group of 3 Zerg and Harstem. Harstem only had to bring his A game for PvZ today. No other matches, nothing to worry about. And if he can play the rest of today out, whether it's versus Namshar or a rematch against Bly possibly, or whoever, however this trickles down, like, he only needs to be good at the one matchup. And if he plays any of them half as good as he played that first game just now versus Bly, I got some good faith in Harstem to get out of this group.
Yeah, man, I mean, Harstem looked pretty good in that first game, and well, It's kind of rough, man, for sort of dropping out, because I think sort of was definitely one of the favorites for this group personally, because obviously he's out practicing in Korea. I think the only thing holding him back was the fact he was maybe in Korea playing on the EU server, but he just qualified for GSL today. I mean, he's playing pretty well, so I really feel like this opens the group and maybe even makes it a bit harder for Namshar, because Namshar's so good at ZvZ that maybe having to be more reliant on his ZvP now, that may hurt him a little bit if he does end up having to play Harstem. Because of course, I mean, Namshar has to beat one of Harstem or Bly, right, to basically advance, because whoever wins here, he's going to play first, and even if he loses that, he has to beat the other, so I guess he can still look to kind of play against Bly, but
Namshar's been on a tear, but we'll talk more about him once we get to his match. For now, Bly loses an Overlord, gets some okay scouting, but on a map like Neon Violet Square, there's two extra things you need to look for, other than simply the opening of, like, is it a Stargate, is it a Twilight? There's also, is that a fast third pocket base? Are you going to see gateways coming down? Did he at least see the Twilight Council? No, he didn't even see this in the natural. So Harstem's going for a charge slot attack. He's churning it out. Robo comes down. We're going to have a War Prism. And things are going to get real bad for Bly real quick.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty deadly if Bly doesn't get something up to start to defend. And right now, I'm not sure how hopeful I am for him. He's got like 10 to 20 seconds to start throwing down the Rotron. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit too late. If he's trying to go into fast Ling Hydra, that's going to be painful, because right now he's even skipping a Balin Nest. So he really doesn't have much to defend against this here. And Harstem is building up those gateways.
Yeah, that's going to be the full-on 7 gates, boys, in a dream. Excuse me, wait, is that 8 gates in a dream? That's 8 gates in a dream, dude. Yeah. Oh, man, that's...
He had 1 and he added 7. Math.
I mean, I'm just so used to 7 being, I guess, what we're calling standard, but oh, he's got to get that pylon down to block this out. Not let Bly into the base. Bly's going to scout this once he realizes what's going on, can then start adjusting accordingly. Just Lings versus charge lots is not exactly the greatest defense. He'll get up here to the main, but if he gets to that wall, if he sees those extra gateways down there to the third, that really seals the deal. The amount of gateway he's seen so far is not that crazy.
Yeah, but he has been saving money, Bly, by the way. He starts up 8 roaches now. He had so much gas in the bank that as soon as his Overlords and Roach Run were done, the roach production just was absolutely insane. So Harstem, maybe now he's in a little bit of trouble here. Bly is even setting up a wall off at home, hence the couple of Evo chambers. And so those results, they have to break through a wall before they can even get to... Well, I guess they can...
Well, do they, though?
Yeah, that's actually maybe a slight gap in Bly's defense.
That's a really cool move out of Bly, though, because it does split up the Zealots. Instead of 7 of them, you're only fighting 4 of them. And on top of this, Harstem's using Warpins offensively, not defensively. So Bly, well, he might want to have these things at home. He's also got them in Harstem's base, and Harstem might be the one who's in trouble now. These Zealots are doing a pretty good job taking the fight so far, but he's about to lose that front gate. No, 2 defensive Zealots at the last second going to hold the line. The 300 at the hot gates.
The Zealots are absolute heroes right now, but Harstem isn't making enough progress on the other side. And obviously, with just Zealots on the map in charge, you're not going anywhere in this game. GG, Bly has tied us up.
All right, I like that he doesn't go down without a fight, and that was a hell of a fight to take too, going into that blind. But Bly, you can't spell blind without Bly, I guess.
No, I guess you cannot.
All right,
you know, I was making some good Bly jokes the other day. You would have been proud.
Oh, I was hoping there was an example following that up, but apparently not. Okay. All right, guys.
Repeat a joke.
While we get into game 3, I do want to get caught up on some awesome shoutouts though, because we already had some people send us some awesome support in the stream so far. But as said, we've been, I'm developing like an eye twitch at how headachy this has been to sort, but we are like into it now. So big thank you. Obviously, beyond with that monster host, that was cray cray. But let's not forget about Lil Wardy with his 49 viewers. Thank you very much, Wardy. I really appreciate that. But then Guildland came back for 4 months to say Korean, Chinese, same. Haha, beyond hype. What? Ogre Tot was a Prime sub. Sortis Nox was a 10-month returning Prime sub. Another new sub coming in from Aft Meteor. Then, ooh, let's just play this again for the excuse of playing it. It always sounds so good. Alaska Winter donates 20 bucks. So I'll be splitting that with Wardy. Again, just so everyone's aware, tips and donations on the channel. I split with my co-casters, and Wardy and I are definitely saying thanks for that 20. Coffee and StarCraft 2 in the morning. Cool to see the 4-year badges. Yes! Wait till you see the 8 years. Because it's really stupid. Joe Man Joe, thank you for the 3-month resub. Working night shift, so I get to see y'all live. Nice. Johanna was a 3-month sub coming back to us, and keep up the good work. Atris 159 primes it up for 3 months in a row. Say good luck or bad luck. Have fun, either one. Okay. Fair weather friend. And then last but not least, we got Saka34 rocking a brand new prime sub. Welcome to the channel. We're gonna be going to a commercial break here real quick, guys. Just 2 minutes, get this out of the way. But before we do, quick shout out to all the prime subs, or otherwise all the new subs. Twitch is removing its messaging system, if you're unaware. Not Twitch chat. Twitch chat's still there. You guys are good. Sit tight. They're there. But this messaging system that we use to send out replay packs and contact our subscribers en masse, they're axing that entirely. And at the moment, there doesn't appear to be a plan to replace it. But fear not, we've started migrating all this stuff over to Discord. We have a BaseTradeTV subscriber Discord channel within the BaseTradeTV Discord, which you can only access if you're a subscriber. So link your Discords up and join it. Otherwise, you can just type in discord.gg/BaseTradeTV and join it through there. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Get at it in there though, guys, if you're new subs, so you don't miss out on anything. And we'll see you soon. Alright guys, we're back, but only for the briefest of moments because we're hopping into the map called Acid Plant for the tiebreaker in the series. We'll see you for game 3. All right, folks, we're back into game number 3. Things are tied up 1-1. This is the preliminary match of the day, but it's got a little bit more weight on it than normal. We'll again recap and discuss in a moment, but for now, spawning to the lower right, we have Asterian's Blue Protoss, Harstem.
And the upper left-hand side, in the red, Zazek player Bly from Team Expert.
Now, really quick, guys, despite how unfortunate the groups and stuff ended up today, for those who missed the start of the stream, TLDR sort of backed out the last minute. We don't have a replacement, so there's only 3 best of 3s in this otherwise 5 best of 3 group. That's okay. We have a Masters League tournament starting up in half an hour, and we'll just cast the, I guess, a couple extra matches there than we normally would. Normally we just cast the finals, but I think this will time out. We can probably catch the semis, see how that goes. But if you are curious, we have a VOD up on here, Twitch. It's not on YouTube or anything. It's exclusively here on Twitch for now, at least.
A Twitch exclusive?
I know, right? Where we did group picks with the players. We had them on Discord. We got most of them in on a call. We even got to hear Rainer's tiny little voice of an angel. He's so cute. And these guys picked their opponents for the groups based on their qualifier seeding. So a lot of these guys, it really was like a get over here, deciding who they wanted to play and more importantly, who they didn't want to play. Because some of this is like, yo, you don't want to get picked by Neeb. You don't want to get picked by DNS. These are some scary boys.
That, I actually didn't get to watch it, but I imagine it was a lot of fun.
It was interesting. It was short and sweet. They got a little bit of banter and nothing too crazy. I think it was a pretty in and out type situation, but either way... Right, exactly. But either way, it's the fact that these guys got to pick their opponents kind of like the old GSL style rather than simply be dictated by seeding. So, Harstem and Bly, my match made in heaven. But I bring this up because Bly was actually second to last pick, if I recall.
Yeah, he was like the... well, Harstem didn't get to pick, right? Because he finished second place? Or something?
No, so Lambo was a no-show to the pick, so Harstem actually got to move up the rung on the ladder, and Lambo got stuck with the leftovers. But the fact that Bly was second to last pick, I mean, that's not because they're picking their friends like dodgeball guys. It's who you don't want to fight is going to be the last one remaining, and yeah, Bly being left second to last is kind of scary. That's a general public opinion saying nobody wants to fight Bly.
Yeah, I mean, Bly is like one of the most terrifying players to play because even if you think you're better than Bly, you never know if today is going to be the day where he comes up with the crazy new all-in that you've never seen in your life. You know, suddenly he finds a way to have like 100 Zerglings in your base in like 2 minutes, even without dropper lords.
Well, I was gonna say, look at last game for that example, right? Charge a lot of attacks on the way. Bly responds and putting down 3 evos and just counters. Not a lot of people will have that thought process, that mentality, but this time around, he's got some better scouting. Ling's actually got up to the main to poke up. Doesn't know what's following because it's a little bit hard to tell, but at this point we'd start seeing a Phoenix out. This Overlord would be chased off. So Bly knows it's not a Stargate at the very least.
Yeah, that's good information. Well, he knows it's not a Stargate, but it is a Stargate.
That was actually a really big catch just now. He got the Adept before it transferred through that wall, and while Harstem might build forever, it's very difficult to clean this up when you only have 1 Stalker worth of DPS, and that Adept not here to aid in. In fact, the Oracle comes back home to deal with this because it has to. Both of them, hello! Now, of course, we said it's not a Stargate from what he's seen, but we knew, because we watched him place it down, this proxy here on the left side of the map. But the reality is, Harstem didn't get to use this proxy. He didn't get to go to the mineral lines. He didn't get to harass Bly. He's forced to defend with a proxy Stargate. This is already not a great opening for Harstem.
And now he's going to lose power to the Stargate, and he loses the Stargate, so he doesn't get to use it again later. As we see Resonating Glaive starting up on the Twilight Council, so Harstem continuing on here with the kind of Glaives once again. We'll see what he can do with it this time around. Obviously, last game initially the Glaives didn't do a lot. He does get a couple of drones on these those Oracles. Finally, the Stalker having to hold tight against those
Oh shit, J. Craig, who are you fighting? Dude, the donation sounds so good, especially when it comes from you, baby. Thank you for the 30 bucks. Bly does not succeed in breaking the wall. This was a valiant effort, but like most Bly games, this is actually a little bit tougher to fall back on, because while he is moving to Hydralisk Dead, and he's got 3 bases, his drone count is predictably low. Only just now throwing like another 14 or something on that production tab. It's a bit rough for him. Harstem's not exactly in a much better place. He's only just now taking his 3rd, but if Bly had managed to force out the same level of defense, like half the Lings had instead been drones, he'd be leagues ahead right now.
Yeah, it would be nice, as we do see Harstem is going to be able to defend the 3rd at least. That's always great. So he's going to keep this coming up. I wonder how real a 3rd Nexus this is, though. You know, Robo Facility about to finish, Adept shading across the map. production currently halted. Okay, he starts up another couple right now, but you know, he's just doing that to bait me.
Oh my gosh, Caterpillar and Cake in chat says, does this guy know? His name sounds like Hearthstone? Oh, dude, how has no one made that connection before? Oh my god, it totally sounds like Hearthstone. We should tell him. I bet he doesn't even know. I bet this joke has never been made before. Oh my god, what a game changer.
You completely ruined casting Harstem for the rest of my life. That's okay, because I'd stay low to Stalker. Haha, you see what I did? Haha. I used the new joke already. I'm so clever. Oh my god, these are depths all over the place.
Right, but this isn't exactly good. Bly's only lost 6 workers to this, and Harstem just lost the full force of his army.
But he did get rid of 3 Hydras, and he got quite a lot of Zerglings as well. So I don't think it's that bad for Harstem, because while the Adepts are nice, you can definitely warp in a lot of them very quickly once more, and because it's Hydras especially, it's very hard for Bly to quickly counter. As you can see right here. Nice pickup.
Yikes, that was a little bit too spicy for my memes, dude. That was close. If he lost that Warp Prism, he would really be in bad shape. But the big thing about this living is exactly what it's doing now. Hydralisks are like otters chasing butterflies, and the Warp Prism's the butterfly in this case, keeping everybody at home instead of slamming into this third base.
I'm seeing a couple of drones going down as more depths drop off to the right-hand side. This is nice now, right? He's getting more than just the initial workers he killed. So he's going to get another 8, 9, and that's still counting. So this is really great for Harstem. At this stage, he takes a worker lead and an army lead. And Bly, okay, he's banking a few resources here and there, mainly because he's going into a Spire. And if he gets up to meters, he can be very dangerous. But if Harstem just attacks him before that point, which he may very well do, +1, charge, archives, all coming through now.
What's really interesting about the way Bly does Hydras, though, is, or excuse me, not Hydras, Mutalisks, is he tends to do them non-dedicated. Like, we'll see a cluster of 8, and then it's Harass and it's Cool. We have been seeing some players, however, especially Koreans, try and bring back Mutas, and I'm not sure that I'm following that trend. I still think they're pretty weak unless they catch a Protoss player completely off guard.
But they might catch him completely off guard right now, right? Because he hasn't seen the Spire. And as far as Harstem cares, he's just sort of playing his game, getting Storm, going into the mid-game. He has no intention of playing against Muta sooner, though now he starts to Stargate. Oh, maybe his Muta senses are tingling.
Well, at the very least, this for Oracles will be necessary going forward, because, as we've seen many times again, Hydras lead to Lurkers, and Observers are not so reliable for the detection. Revelation tends to be much better. So good old Hearthstone. Oh, whoops, gosh. Mistake. Good old Harstem, I like, goes for the Stargate. I feel bad. I'm not trying to actually make fun of the viewer who said that. It's just, it's such a tired old joke.
11 meters on the way up as Bly is going to try and get something done with these. I mean, again, if you look at this initially, you know, a Storm or 2 can generally be dodged by Mutas, but there just isn't that much of an anti yet. But look at this, a Phoenix on the way. Harstem, I think, just has such a good read on what Bly likes to do. And he's just starting up his preparations for those Mutas. And obviously, for 11 Mutas, if you have 4 to 5 Phoenix, you can just kite for a win.
I'm not sure at what point, because we did check this like literally moments ago. He has since scouted, so well, maybe a hallucinated Phoenix got in there while we were looking at that Warp Prism. This is really good, though, for Harstem, because, yes, this confirms that he can go Phoenix, and Phoenix actually are not bad. Zest was doing this really cool thing using Phoenix against Lurkers, but we'll talk to that if it gets to it. The Mutas are already here, after all, and yikes. Even with a shield battery, this is going to be tough to hold.
Yeah, the shield battery helps a tiny amount to buy time for a couple of throws. It's just that the Stalkers trade a little bit better.
He doesn't have Blink. He went for charge.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously a big issue here, right? But with the couple of shield batteries here and there, you can actually fight for a lot longer against mutants with a low number of Phoenix, but not if you don't micro them. Losing one there gives, obviously, Bly a little bit of a chance to clean that up.
And Bly's going for more Mutas, so this is the style I'm talking about that I'm not a big fan of. I think that the initial, like, 8, he went for 11, but, like, 8 to 11, like, this is great if you want to do Mineral Line, Harass, and catch Warp Prisms. I think it's awesome. In fact, I wish everybody would do it. But going further than that, especially when you see your opponents already making moves to counter your Mutas, I don't think it's a good use of Minerals and Gas, because that is a grand total of, what, 1,500 Minerals, 1,500 Gas gone into these units now? And that's just the ones that are alive. Add in the extra 300 that are dead.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to fight, but that's what Bly can do so well, right? Just avoid the fight. So we'll see if he can make it happen. We're going to see a lot of Link Bane Hydra moving to the left. So now Bly might try and pull Harstem apart a bit. use the mutas to pull some units to the right-hand side and then strike at the left, where Harstem is completely out of location to defend.
Yeah, it's really key for a couple different reasons. We'll talk about this in a second, but just note the fleet beacon follow-up to this, guys. A lot of cannons going to hold for a time, but once those Bailey start popping, all the buildings start dying. He does take out the shield battery and all the cannons, but a big recall brings the army home. This, however, leaves the main vulnerable. We'll see if a single Phoenix and a warp and a Stalkers can stop this.
He's actually getting quite a bit done there. Finally, the cannon goes down, but another Phoenix arrives. Bane!
No!
Blow up 19 workers, and obviously the mutas are getting some more kills here and there. Those mutants are bruised, but they're not dead, and Bly is getting so much out of every single unit at the moment.
Yeah, another 10 mutas coming out. I just really, at this point, I'm so shocked the mutas have been so effective, but Harstem's worker count hasn't been completely destroyed yet. Still sitting on 59 for 4 bases. Toss in a chrono, you're good to go. So the Phoenix are done. He's still making 2 at a time, and I noted the fleet beacon because if this continues this trending way, Harstem might even go for Anion Pulse Crystals.
Well, I mean, even if he cleans up the mutas now, though, right? I mean, is it... Bly's still making more mutas. I really feel at this stage, surely you should just play, like, into Lingbane Hydra or something that can just attack into the lurkers, because I feel now the mutas are becoming less and less effective. And obviously, if you just build up an army after doing so much anyways, it's going to be so difficult for Harstem to hold. I'm
so impressed with Bly's multitasking up to this point that this is actually looking kind of weak. Like, don't get me wrong, 34 workers dead, mission accomplished, right? But the mutas themselves alone are not proving to be very impressive at all. But when the mutas were on this side, the Lings were here, and 4 Banelings came here, as Bly's setting up for like round 2, I like this a lot more.
So many Lings hitting this mineral line. It's obviously going to be a bit of a cleanup, though. This time Harstem defends pretty well.
I wish
Harstem's biggest issue might be getting a 5th base.
I wish the shield batteries actually, you know, when units have like the kill count, but they had like an energy restored count or something.
Yeah.
Like they have saved so many units this game. But
well, I think
the Phoenix, a little bit of complacency and some glaive worms get in the mix.
I was just gonna say, with regards to the shield batteries, you can kind of see they've been doing a lot though, because they've never had like tons of energy left on them, because they've just been constantly at work. They've been so key, as we do see Lings coming in all over the place. And now important units, you know, Archons and Immortals are going down one by one. That's definitely not great, as we do see the mutas are going to get fought by the Phoenix, but the Phoenix are kind of just sat here. Harstem's losing a lot, but Bly's losing a few units here and there at least. Harstem is still just scrambling the defense together. Yeah, quick peek at the resources lost. It's very close, but I feel like Bly's army at this stage might be a little more fragile. Harstem's really got these beefy Immortals and Archons to fall back on. Bly's sitting here with Hydras, Banelings, and Lings. It's just 27 Hydras is good, don't get me wrong, but a couple Storms, and suddenly that's more like 17 Hydras. And this is why I feel as though if you cut mutas, like, I mean, how many mutas did you actually end up losing in the end? 42? I feel like the first 20 mutas did the damage, right? Now imagine he spent the last 20 mutas of resources on Hydras. I mean, obviously the mutas still do something here and there, but I think Harstem's just done everything he needed to put himself in a good spot from this, as we do see Adept harass, and again, I mean, the more he does this, again, the more it's going to be frustrating for Bly to try and deal with. As you're going to be seeing them obviously getting cleaned up. There's nice little distractions as Lurker harass now coming through, but Harstem's nearby to deflect it. Yeah, good thing he's got the Observer here. Detection going away with that cannon dying would have been real painful. I do want to excuse me. I want to give a quick 10-minute heads up, guys. The signups will be closing soon for the Amateur Masters and Below tournament. So if you plan to play, type !noob in chat and get on it. You got 10 minutes to sign up because tournament starts very soon. Very soon is also a term Bly might be coming to terms with, because very soon he might not have much of an army left if this fight can go well for Harstem. Shut up, I try, okay? Just like a 1990s toy named Armstrong, that was a bit of a stretch, Wardy. It was going better in my head than I realized. Oh, the Banelings in the backside almost got on top of the Templar, but a lot of storms already got used, and Bly actually crushes this army, but is it enough to follow through? These Hydras are all over in health. Oh, the Phoenix really should have tried to lift a few Hydras there. I mean, if they lift up a couple and take a few away, it could have been huge, as we see the Zealots coming around the left side to try and attack. Bly goes straight across the map, and he has to be so careful. Like we said, those Hydras are so low on hit points, they're so vulnerable at the moment.
Yeah, one more storm executes so many. Heck, we just witnessed the High Templar auto attack for the first time ever.
They're actually killing something. They're actually killing the Hydras. Wow, obviously had some help there towards the end, and the stasis ward was absolutely clutch here. Otherwise, Harstem would have maybe been in a lot more trouble. But now this is actually really good because this is another 5. Oh, okay. Well, there's the extra Hydras that come in to reinforce. If this was still just these Hydras, though, they would go down, and that would have been a nice little kind of chunk of supply back in Harstem's favor.
Well, taking a quick peek at the income, guys, it's been all over the place. So Bly fell off a little bit with mining through these last few attacks. So Harstem, with 70 probes and his current base setup, has had no problem keeping that money high and replacing this army. Both players are at this point now, though, where they need more bases. Bly takes the top right while we're speaking, but Harstem's still locked into these 4. It's really difficult to push out with so much Hydra pressure.
Hydras going forward is going to get the cannon. I mean, at least he cleaned up the lurkers before the Hydras arrive, which is something. Warping in more Zealots to try and deal with this. I'm just not sure if that's going to be enough. He's got so much of his army committed to the right side when there's not actually anything really coming in from the right side. And so Harstem's going to start losing this base.
Yeah, this is tough. No storms. Charge lots could maybe get the job done. They do have +3 weapons after all. Quick charge in. But with too few of them, they get picked off by the Hydras. Dead on arrival. 13 probes die. He might finally get pushed off, but yikes. Harstem finally feeling the burn of these attacks. And like I said, he was doing well in income, but combined with losing more workers and Bly getting a brand new base, that should start really setting him behind. And yeah, we're going to see some red there on the income graph now.
That said, though, Harstem still has 60 probes, and I guess at this stage, the biggest issue is that he's mining out of his bases. He needs a 5th. And this is something I mentioned earlier. How do you get a 5th base when the Zerg's kind of being all over the place and attacking like Bly is? It's actually very difficult to do that here on us.
Okay. There's a really easy way to do this, but it's a bit complicated at the same time, okay? First, you make a Reddit thread complaining about the state of Zerg. Then you make several fake accounts on the StarCraft Reddit and you upvote it so it looks like it's popular and people bandwagon on it. Then it gets to the front page of Reddit and Blizzard reads this and thinks, huh, the community's really struggling to take a 5th base's Protoss right now. And then they'll overreact and they'll nerf it. Boom, 5 weeks later, there's your 5th base, Wardy. Easy.
Protoss actually spawn Nexus with minerals next to them now. It's like if you build a Nexus next to a mineral patch, it doubles the minerals.
Chrono Boost now creates hallucination mineral patches, so you can just have unlimited resources. Nice catch of the Banelings, by the way. The stasis trap at Harstem, not given enough credit, but that's 2 big catches it's had coming up this ramp.
Yeah, this was, ooh, this Zealot's going huge over here. This, again, Harstem's sort of hanging in there, and I think Bly's stacking up money. What do you think he's going to build? Is he going to mass a chunk of meters again? Is he just going to build Hydras? Why is he waiting so long? He's got the lava.
It's Mutas. Okay, I was like, it's a really big bank to be massing up, but maybe he was thinking lurkers, for example, right? Morphing in a ton of lurkers is really expensive too, but I guess we haven't looked at Bly's building count for a while, and he's not actually on Hive Tech. This is all still layers, so no lurkers, no adaptive talons, no broodlords. I don't know how long he can stick on this tier 2 gameplay, and the Mutas are kind of a desperate gambit to make this work longer for him. After all, they were just destroyed going into 42 already dead.
Well, Bane's coming around through the center as the extra Mutas coming across then. I mean, this is what Bly did to kind of get himself into a strong position in this game. Will it work again, though? A couple of Archons on the right, I mean, they're already being intercepted, and I kind of feel like Harstem might just be like, okay, Mutas again? Cool, because at least now you're not going to kill me in the next couple of moments.
You know what Bly does with this? And this is where the Muta investment makes me happy. Oh, first up, oh my god. That is quite a pylon that was in control of these buildings.
Wow,
now having lost it. He expands. He double expands while this goes on.
Yeah, that's the great thing for Bly, right? He's getting his extra bases up, so he has extra places to mine from. As Harstem takes the 5th base to the right-hand side, with the Mutas back on the map, this is what I do love. It keeps the Cross player so pinned back that it might be very difficult for him to actually really truly hold that 5th base. So we'll see if that's going to be the case here. As a Robo getting empowered, he actually cancels the Dark Shrine as well.
Yeah, I did not realize. Does that not keep going if it's not powered?
Well, the Dark Shrine, it keeps building. I think he just thinks at this stage he needs the resources.
The manual cancel, yeah. All right,
Just,
so the Mutas are a big case of the tough titty wampus here for Harstem, but he is finally getting this number up before he can deal with it. Losing the pylon, losing these extra gateways, still not being replaced, and a second Stargate still unpowered. he needs to get this powered up ASAP.
Yeah, Harstem does feel as though he's maybe falling apart a little bit at the moment. We'll see how this next big fight goes, because that can be very, very decisive as to who's going to take this one, because neither player really has a bank behind this. So if one player wins heavily in the engagement, it could very well be the end of the other.
Have you ever played Never Have I Ever, Wardy?
I have.
Never have I ever made it 21 minutes into a game versus Bly. This is actually super impressive on both sides of the scale, though. Bly has been doing a lot of things very right this game, and Harstem hasn't been really making huge mistakes. This has actually been perhaps one of the best clashes between these two players I've cast in a long time.
It's very un-Bly, right? Because, you know, Bly's games, even if, you know, they go a bit longer, sometimes, like, the mutas come out and it just ends the game, right? But this is really kind of even until the end. And, yes, Harstem's economy is absolutely down the gutter now. 33 probes to 55 drones. But, and that's actually getting better because he's killing some workers all over the place. But also, as these mutas go down, the army supplies are dead even. Harstem may straight up just have a better army to fight with still.
Oh, absolutely, because there's a big problem for Bly. He's just invested in a ton of corruptors, which, okay, maybe these dive in and kill the mothership, right? But they don't have the ability to turn into broodlords. He's just got a lot of dead supply in the sky. And, of course, let's not forget with the Onion Pulse Crystal upgrade that Harstem was going for, which he's canceled since. Okay. I was going to say that actually lets the Phoenix outrange the corruptors. Otherwise, corruptors can fight Phoenix head on. Either way, he's got to be very careful here. Archons and Storms can make mincemeat out of these corruptors very quickly.
Bly just doesn't have a hive, and if he had a hive behind this, suddenly those corruptors are broodlords, and if those corruptors are broodlords, maybe this is a different scenario, but as it stands, those corruptors are going to come in, kill a mothership, and then they're going to not really do much else apart from go and caustic spray down some bases. So it's still not going to be a great kind of fighting army of Bly's. He loses 12 more workers, suddenly Bly's within 3 workers of Harstem.
Yeah, losing these extra bases is going to sting a little bit too, but the corruptors come in, they try to stay split. Even if they get this mothership, this is such a costly engagement. We got Storms and Banelings and there's splash damage all over the place. Who comes out ahead? And it looks like Harstem in this regard. 13 corruptors are all that really remains for Bly.
How did those corruptors take so long to kill the mothership? I don't even know, but then the Storms came in and obviously they were fantastic. Weathered down the entire Zerg army. And obviously a few Banes connected, but when only a few connect on these Immortals and Archons, it's not enough because these Immortals and Archons are so tanky. And that's what really powers them up as units. You see, okay, the caustic spray comes down, maybe he can get this Nexus, but even if he gets this Nexus at this stage, I mean, he really has nothing left to clean up the army of Harstem across the map.
So, just quickly noting here, I'm not disagreeing with you guys, Storm is a pretty nice unit, but there was also layers of Archons in front of that, right? Like those Banelings were like a gambit. Some of them got through, but what they ended up going off on weren't Templar. It was Archons, it was Immortals, it was all things that don't really care about Banelings. That was such a good fight for Harstem for many different reasons, and I would love to just chalk it up to Storm, but the way he positioned his army going into that fight was also pretty nice. Like, I mean, 3 Templars surviving is impressive, to be honest, with how much was thrown his way just now.
Yeah, Harstem had the units in the position to meet them. And one Storm comes down, that's the power of keeping those Templar alive, because they're going to be important continuing into this fight. And there is the GG. Harstem takes game 3 after 25 minutes. Quite the epic clash between these 2 Europeans.
All right, guys. Well, here's the deal. I'm going to just poke one last time. We had poked 1 or 2 people, right? We're going to give our best to try and see if we can get a last-second replacement for sort of... It's unlikely that we can, but we'll see what we can do. What's likely going to happen, though, during this commercial break is if we literally, in the next, like, 5 minutes, don't find a player to replace Damaga, or not Damaga, sort of, because Damaga is someone we were reaching out to, but it turns out he's playing a clan war, and, like, a lot of people are just busy today. Then we'll just do the walkover, and it would then be Namshar versus Harstem in the winners match, while Bly awaits in the group finals. So... it will either be what I just described or something else. Either way, literally as I'm speaking, the Masters tournament and below has begun. And I wish all those players the best of luck. If this wraps up early, we'll catch some of the semifinals, but we will at the very minimum catch the grand finals of the Masters and below tournament. So good luck to all the players competing, and we'll see you guys in a bit. On our end, here's a quick peek at the... like, this is a sponsor video. This is a video we did actually with Ting over at TwitchCon. It's a little bit longer than normal, but like I said, I'm gonna try and buy us a few minutes here. So sit tight, and we'll see you guys for more StarCraft soon.